Hello everyone, welcome to Last of Us Part 2 video. Well, I'm going to basically be covering up everything on the Last of Us Part 2. It's going to be basically everything we know about the game. Alright, so I'm going to start off what the Last of Us Part 2 is basically all about. Alright, Last of Us Part 2 is a sequel to Naughty Dog's critically and commercially successful Last of Us, which launched for PS3 in 2013. This game will contain elements of action, adventure, and survival horror, similar in tone to its predecessor. It will follow on from the events of the first game and will feature the return of protagonist Ellie and Joel 5 years after the events of The Last of Us. The game has already received there's all the awards they got through it, yeah. All right, so now we're going to talk about the story of what we know. Alright, all we know so far that The Last of Us Part 2 takes place 5 years after the events of the first game. This means main character Ellie will be 19 years old in this game and will be watched over by Joel, who is slowly aging and losing the energy he once had. Apparently, Ellie is remarkably angry. That much is clear from the marketing material released for the game so far. Alright. And Neil Druckmann has said The Last of Us will be centered around hatred. Alright? Hatred is just something that it's intense emotion. It's very intense. And it could sometimes make you do crazy things like try to go for revenge. Alright? Or justice. And sometimes people who are hatred towards people, it isn't really justice. It's really vengeance. Alright? You're acting out of emotion. Alright? And I was there, yeah. Now, the kind of thing about it is that The Last of Us, the very first one, it had like a really good balance of humans and infection. They had a really good balance. It was kind of even. But I think in this game, we're going to see more human enemies in this game than infective enemies. Because if this is around hatred, why would she have hatred towards infection? I can understand why. I mean, that's been happening for like over 25 years. Okay? But why would she be angry at this, she has to be angry at a group or organization, a faction, or it's just one person that she's trying to get to. We don't really know, okay? We really don't know. Alright, but the next thing that I want to tell you is the Naughty Dog announcements that came out a few days ago. There was some big announcements on Friday, and some of the changes inside the company related directly to the release of the company's next big game release, which is, of course, The Last of Us Part 2. But writing on a new post on Naughty Dog's website, President Evan Wells announced that Neil Druckmann, who has had key roles in the development of the first two Uncharted games and as the creative director for both The Last of Us and Uncharted 4, had been promoted to vice president. So if you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you're not, but if you are watching this, congratulations for that. Though, despite the change in role, Druckmann will remain as The Last of Us Part 2's creative director. Thank God. But Wells also revealed the joint game directors for The Last of Us Part 2, revealing that Anthony Newman, Kurt Bagano, previously lead game designers on Uncharted 4, and with experience working on the first Last of Us game, would take the lead. Both Kurt and Anthony joined Naughty Dog during Uncharted 2 and have been instrumental in leading the design department and have been key distributors on our subsequent games, Wells said. And more certainly, Marguano was integral as the joint director for Uncharted spin-off Lost Legacy. Finally, we announced that Emilia Scott and Richard Cambero will serve as the lead designer for the new Last of Us game, having showed their pedigree previously, having worked on multiple Naughty Dog games, including Uncharted 4 and the original Last of Us title. Okay, now let's move on to when will we learn more. Okay, when will we learn more? Okay, I can't say for certain. It seems pretty nailed on that Naughty Dog's latest game will come out 2019, and this is what I'm reading an article, okay? I just want you guys to know that. It seems pretty nailed that Naughty Dog's latest game will be in 2019 release at the very earliest. I don't think that, okay? Because of this, it seems even more unlikely that we'll learn anything of the game anytime soon. Sure, we can learn the odd tidbit or hear a rumor here to there, like the bit Druckmann teased last week of the CGI dog. Okay, but any tangible news about the game is likely only going to come out from a big industry event. That's because Sony does not make a habit of making big game announcement out of the blue. Instead, we'll probably hear more about the game in a couple months, like during Sony's E3 2018 press conference. Of course, it might be even later in the year if Sony chooses to hold off and save any further news until PS6 at the end of 2018. I really hope that does not happen. Alright, so next, we're going to be talking about The Last of Us development update. Alright. The development update, alright? Here we go. Are you ready? Try to catch my breath before I say this. Alright. The Last of Us Part 2 is probably going to include a dog. In a tweet celebrating the start of the Chinese Year of the Dog, Naughty Dog director Neil Druckmann posted a picture of himself sitting with a dog in a motion capture suit. Druckmann doesn't detail what role the dog will have in the game. It's safe to say that it will be a fairly big part. Otherwise, why would the studio go through all the hassle of motion capturing an animal? Alright, whether the dog will be friend or foe, however, it is yet to be revealed. It could be that dog is going to be your buddy. Something Naughty Dog is a fan of including in its games. In the first Last of Us title, we saw Ellie act as your buddy. Uncharted 4, we saw Nathan's brother Sam take up the role for the most part. Okay, so what does that really tell you right there? That means that The Last of Us, it's gonna have a lot of, it's gonna have stuff new there, man. It's gonna have some new stuff, and I could see it both being a companion but also an enemy. This dog they were putting in bush capture, it could be a really bad wolf. I mean, a pretty bad one, man. Like he might be like the biggest wolf you ever seen, like a werewolf, man. He might even look like that, you know what I mean? He could be like, or he could be a friend, he could be a companion you have walking around like in Fallout 4. You know, like go walking around with him, and you like journey with him, and I think that's cool, All right, so Neil Druckmann talks about inspirations at DICE that took place in February. All right. And it says The Last of Us 2 director Neil Druckmann took the stage at DICE Summit last week for a talk called Crafting Narratives for Video Games, Film, and Television. Through Druckmann touched on numerous topics, including content that was cut from Uncharted 4. He did provide something of an update on Last of Us Part 2. More specifically, the director opened up about the inspiration for the game, and one of those concerned the award-winning graphic novel turned Netflix original series The End of the Effing World. There is a show on Netflix called The End of the Effing World, which is so well written and acted and quirky, and it has been totally inspiring some of the stuff we're doing in Last of Us Part 2, said that Neil Druckmann. And as he says, especially on the dialogue stuff. So if you go to Netflix, if you get Netflix and look for The End of the Effing World, and you listen to the dialogue, it's gonna. He's saying that it's gonna. Last of Us Part 2 dialogue is just like that, So we actually have a little bit of, I guess gameplay. I mean I don't know. All right. Now we're gonna talk about the one thing that everyone wants to know, man. Every Last of Us fan wants, man. Everyone wants to know when the release date is. All right. There has been no official word on when they can expect The Last of Us Part 2 release on the PlayStation 4. The initial trailer didn't even carry a year, unlike most Sony reveals. We do know that the development on the game started back in 2014 and motion capture for the title started in 2016. So a lot of the pieces are certainly coming together. Also, in a recent interview with Argentinian radio station Braterix, The Last of Us Part 2's composer Gustavo Tatotola stated the title is planned to launch exclusively for PS4 in 2019. This has not been confirmed by the studio or anyone at Sony and could be outdated information, so take the information at face value. Whew. Alright. I think this will do it for this video. I don't have anything else up here. I don't have anything else. But yeah, I mean, I understand that this I just can't wait to play the game, man. It's gonna be a good game. A lot of people have asked me, when are you gonna play it, even if it's not good, buddy? I don't care. If it's The Last of Us Part 2, it's The Last of Us Part 2. I'm gonna be playing it, But it doesn't mean that I don't want them to, make it a good game. But it doesn't matter because it's The Last of Us Part 2. It's gonna have the same story, just because it has bad graphics and stuff, and probably not good gameplay. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna still play it because of the story, Alright, I just looked up something else. Yeah, this is just, yeah. Alright, yeah, it's the same thing, basically. Alright, guys, yeah, this is all I gotta do. It's basically everything we know about The Last of Us Part 2, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I had to do a few editing things, you know, I gotta edit it a little bit. You know, I don't really like doing it, but it's worth it, man. But, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me if you like these kind of videos. I'll make more of them. It's not going to be a Fifth Element Apocalypse video. It's going to be like an everything we know about The Last of Us Part 2 kind of video. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do. Just to be a video for today for you guys. And I will see you guys. I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys have a very good day. And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.